In our business, we never can anticipate the contents of our next sale, but sometimes, serendipitously, it all just comes together, kind of like an art history lesson. And that is what happened with two paintings depicting the mythological goddess Psyche, one by Gustave Courbet and the other by William Bouguereau. Each work clearly reveals their almost opposite approach to the process of painting and the visualization of a narrative, or perhaps, in the case of Courbet, a non-narrative disguised as a story. The tale of Cupid and Psyche greatly appealed to turn-of-the-century audiences for its obvious themes of love, beauty, jealousy, and perseverance, with the ultimate conclusion that love conquers all. Bouguereau and Courbet were contemporaries, both from the French provinces. Courbet was born in 1819 in Ornans, and Bouguereau in La Rochelle in 1825. Both artists were very ambitious, each looking for recognition and critical acclaim, and like almost every artist, each hoped to sell paintings. Their techniques were different. Bouguereau trained like an Olympic athlete, composing hundreds of compositional drawings, an oil sketch, and often a large cartoon before he put brush to finished canvas. However, very few drawings by Courbet are known. He pretty much abandoned any hint of academic standards, but instead went right at the canvas with paint and brush, and later with palette knife, often completing a painting in as little as 3 hours. Courbet is rightly considered the artist who looked forward, maybe accidentally, but in essence he was what we now know today as a modern painter, whereas his contemporary William Bouguereau was a disciple of the great academicians such as Ingres and David, where rigid training methods reigned supreme. It is the early months of 1864, and Courbet is working frantically to finish a painting of Venus and Psyche only known today from a black and white photograph. This painting, considered one of Courbet's most outstanding works, was destroyed in Berlin during World War II. Courbet wrote to the organizers of the 1864 Salon that he was calling his new work Study of Women, but if they wanted to give the painting a high-flown title, he suggested they call it Venus in Jealous Pursuit of Psyche. Probably Courbet was hoping for the success and critical favor of Salon favorites. It has also been suggested that he wanted to give it a mythological title as a fig leaf, thereby disguising the more taboo theme of lesbianism. Whatever the title, Courbet's Venus and Psyche was rejected by the Salon jury on grounds of indecency and immorality. Our painting, titled Femme endormie, or Woman Asleep, is a study or preliminary idea for the sleeping Psyche in the lost painting, and it gives us an idea of the palette and atmosphere of the final, larger version. It is trademark Courbet, where we see a voluptuous, sensual model lazily reclining on a crumpled white drapery, her head topped with a cascade of curls. Courbet's brushwork is fast and spontaneous, the white drapery almost duplicating the undulation of ocean waves as they roll to the shore in his famous seascapes. Legend has it that the figure of the sleeping Psyche was the inspiration for Courbet's famous Woman with a Parrot. Ironically, the year that Courbet's Venus and Psyche was rejected for being immoral, the jury accepted a painting by Bouguereau depicting a nude bather in the woods. By 1899, the year L'Amour et Psyché was exhibited at the Paris Salon, Bouguereau had attained a level of success likely unimaginable for a once quiet boy from a modest family in La Rochelle. L'Amour et Psyché embodies the culmination of Bouguereau's long and successful career. It displays his consummate artistic ability, particularly in rendering the human form, whereas two protagonists appear as if created by real flesh and bone rather than paint and brush. In 1889, he created his first life-size depiction of the mythological lovers as young adults hovering midair, this time with the positioning of the figures reversed. Also in 1889, he painted another version showing Cupid and Psyche as young children resting on, rather than soaring through the clouds. If this image is familiar, it should be, because today you see it reproduced on everything from umbrellas to mouse pads. And in 1895, Bouguereau painted a second, full-size adult version of the subject in his sensual Le Ravissement de Psyché. Our painting is the last of the Cupid and Psyche theme and was exhibited at the 1899 Salon and again at the World's Fair in Paris in 1900. The two figures personify the physical embodiment of the transported power of love, as Cupid is literally moving Psyche through the air, away from earthly hardships and toward a celestial world. Cupid's role as Psyche's protector is reinforced by his lean physical strength and broad, outstretched wings. Psyche, appearing demure in Cupid's firm embrace, is often identified by butterfly wings, as her name in Greek literally means soul or butterfly, and she has come to represent the human spirit's ability to merge from darkness. She is particularly striking in her distinctly feminine physique, which is accentuated by her position in Cupid's arms. Bouguereau and Courbet. During their lifetimes and even now, they are supporters of each artist who would say it is sacrilegious to mention these two names in the same sentence. Today, with our modern perspective, the edge usually goes to the more avant-garde sensibilities of Gustave Courbet. But those with an open mind cannot deny the unrivaled technical virtuosity and perfection of beauty of the great academician William Bouguereau.